And so I was trying to set up Zoom for my classroom, set up this link in Clever, et cetera, et cetera. When my students happened to pop in, my student couldn't hear me and I could not hear the student. Now, this morning when I was on Zoom with Darcy, it worked fine. I could see her microphone icon. It was there next to her name under participant. My microphone icon was there. Yet the other day with my student, there was not a microphone icon. So my guess is this may be a potential Chromebook setting issue. And if so, how am I going to be able to navigate my students around that? They are, after all, third graders. As a default, since I am anxious to connect with them visually, I'm going to try Google Hangout Meets later after this meeting, but the upper grades are saying that they've had better success with Zoom, so that's why I wanted to try with Zoom. Also, because the link of being able to just post the link there for like office hours right there on their Clever page. I'm going mute now.
Okay, so Dwayne's question was, he's been having, basically you're having issues with Zoom and you're worried that it has to do with the Chromebooks. So I don't have a good answer for that. All I can say right now is, who knows what's going to happen with some of these. I mean, with any of them, there are going to be issues, but I can speak to the fact that Google Hangouts has been working really well. And they did that update on Thursday night. And I did notice on Friday when we were doing our Hangout that I can't go in and mute people anymore like I used to be able to. So that was one of the problems. And then the other thing too is there was another problem where students were going into the same meeting again once the teacher had left to have their own conversations. And it looks like the way that you fix that part of it is they fix that, I believe. But also you can just wait until all the students leave. And then once the administrator leaves, and that's you, because you're the person who is setting the Google Meet, then I think that they can't get in after that. Now, I haven't tested that because I actually am not the owner of this Hangout either. So I'm going to ask Allison if she could maybe, we can maybe test that out. So, all right. Good morning, everyone. I already started the recording, just so you know. I found my inner film editor over the weekend, and I have put online all of the videos from last week's Hangouts. And I will tell you that my best work is the one that's Friday's video, because I actually really edited that one down. I also did some editing on Thursday, so check it out. I do need to go in though and put timestamps in there. I just didn't have time to do that last night.
Okay, so Francie says Francie turned on the closed captioning in Zoom, and then Mia said Francie set it up so that the closed captioning will be saved in Zoom Cloud recordings if the recordings are processed through Zoom Cloud. So I don't know if that's still addressing the mic issue for the Chromebooks.
Okay. Dwayne, I'm really interested to see how it goes when you try out the Google Meet Hangout.
Carolee had a question about Zoom. I went through Clever and it was going to ask me to change my status on Zoom to member. Do I want to do that? So Francie, does she want to change her status to member, or what should she do if she's going through Clever? Okay, so Francie said Zoom is just for classroom teachers, instructions in Clever. So I guess there's instructions for that in Clever, Carolee. So the question for her, Carolee was, I went through Clever and it was going to ask me to change my status to member on Zoom. do I want to do that? And Francie was like, Zoom is just for classroom teachers, instructions on Clever. And then Carrie Lee was like, no, I don't want to do that, but I had to change my status so I won't be an administrator.
I wasn't even asked when I signed into Zoom because I didn't use the Clever link. I just, downloaded the Zoom app and then logged in with Google. So now I'm kind of worried what my status is.
Yeah, you're probably fine because I think Carrie Lee had her own account before this all went down.
Oh, okay.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why.
The thing I'm concerned about is I had my own account before we got it for the district. And so I'm concerned that if I go to member status, I'm not going to be able to kind of like have administrator access over the meeting so that I won't be able to mute mics or I won't be able to move people into small groups. And so I'm just wondering what the member status is before I say yes to that. And if I don't say yes to that, is that going to be a problem with my students getting into the classroom?
Yeah, that's a great Francie question because I don't know.
Hey, it's Francie. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yay! I'm using Meet on my phone for the first time, so here we go, learning every day. If you have a pre-existing Zoom account, I recommend you just keep it. The Zoom with Clever is a free for now, and I don't know if it's a free forever. So if you've already got Zoom, you've already set it up, just ignore the Zoom Clever account and do what you've been doing.
Carolee, what's your question about YouTube?
Okay, sorry, this whole mic chatting thing is so hard.
I know.
So I just want to confirm that teachers who are posting YouTube videos using their WCCUSD account, if they approve for WCCUSD, their students should be able to see the YouTube video. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and then if for some reason they don't do it in the editing process, they can go back and approve it, right?
Yes, yeah, they should be able to approve at any time.
Awesome, great, thanks you guys.
So this is Laurie. Laurie, I just went through that, approving and all that because Nina told me that she couldn't see my videos. So I went ahead and I think I fixed it. So Mina, if you could please, hold on a minute. Mina, if you could please check and see if you can now see the videos because I kind of had to go through a double approval process. I went through and I approved every single one. And then I had to approve the channel because I had actually uploaded it to a channel. So it's a little complicated. I'm learning as I go too. So Mina, if you could check and make sure, that's great. I'd appreciate it.
Awesome, thanks guys.
Chris Roski says he's tried using Safe YouTube. I have not tried that.
Hey, yeah. So this is one thing that you can use. Safe YouTube is a website that so far seems to be really, really great, and it's just a matter of using it to find a YouTube, something that's appropriate, obviously. And I guess I mean like there's no copyright problem, so something that has fair use. You can use copy and paste that link over to Safe YouTube, and it creates a separate link that kind of makes it a standalone video. So you're not just sending your students over to the world of YouTube and everything that comes along with it, but you can actually use it to create a standalone video. So if you're using something like Google Classroom or Seesaw or Flipgrid, it just appears, the video just appears as a video, and it's not like a streamline to the internet.
Yay, I really appreciate that, Chris. Yay, awesome. Thank you for sharing. Let's see.
Any other questions?
I do see, and Mina had emailed me about this, that her camera was not turning off after the Zoom meeting. And I have had that happen before. I see that you said that you shut down the whole computer. As soon as I close the Google browser itself, usually that stops the camera immediately. But yes, you might have to just restart your computer. I'm thinking it's probably a glitch.
So there's a question. Robert says, how safe is Safe YouTube? And then I think I've seen Safe YouTube before, and it's pretty good. It just blocks out all of the ads and all of the ways that you can get into YouTube. It just cuts that video and makes it its own link. So
right.
You should be pretty good on that. Has anyone tried TeacherTube? That's a question from Shauna.
I have not used it in years. I found, TeacherTube is great. It's just, it doesn't have the wealth of resources that, regular YouTube has. But yeah, I've used it maybe 2 years ago, and it's an excellent resource.
All right.
Awesome. They have what you need.
Yeah, I haven't tried TeacherTube yet. All right, checking in the comments.
I'm sorry, Mina, can you try again? And if you could, instead of going from the YouTube page, if you could go from the WCC eLearning page, that would be great. Actually, let me just show you guys really quickly where all the videos are living right now on the website. So I'm going to go ahead and present now. If you go to bit.ly/WCC eLearning, you get to our site. You click on teachers and scroll down just a little bit. There's office hours, videos, and chats. You can also click or just move your cursor over teachers and go to office hours, videos, and chats. And here they all are, along with the chat. So if you guys could, when you get a chance, if you could try and make sure those work, they should all be working. I just checked all the settings.
Lori, I was reading, so Yasmin Reyes at Stewart was mentioning that some of the teachers are posting read alouds on YouTube, and can the district email or post a caution about it? And we had kind of talked about this on Friday. Maybe teachers do not know how to make their videos private. To just, so perhaps we need to send out an email that we don't want to, involve ourselves in copyright infringement, and we want to show you how to create videos that are private for your students' eyes only. I don't know. What do you think about that?
So Darcy, I want to talk about this at our 1 o'clock meeting for sure.
Okay.
I watched a very recent copyright webinar yesterday, and Allison's catching up with it today. For this group, teachers need to, if they're doing a story time or a reading thing, they need to not post it on Facebook, not post it on YouTube, not post it publicly. If you're going to do that, you actually need to research and go to the publisher's website and find out what the rules are. Every publisher's rules are different. You can post, reading a story on your class website, just as long as it's contained and your class can see it, or the kids in your school can see it, but not everyone in the universe. You also have to take it down when schools reopen.
Oh, Lori, Dwayne and I were working on Zoom trying to do some troubleshooting. And we're wondering if you've heard any reports, or anybody that's in on this call have heard any reports of students not being able to use the microphone on their Chromebooks using Zoom.
I have not. And I mean, I'll be honest, I know Hangouts meet a lot better than Zoom. And part of the reason is that Zoom is going to start charging us, once the time is up. And as we look forward, we really have to be wary of those companies, because they are going to use this as a way to get our money. So I'm still not a huge fan of Zoom. I've jumped in with, and I'll probably set up some like friend things on Zoom, but I'm not really a huge fan of using it right now, especially with these problems that we're having. And especially because Google made the changes with Google Hangouts Meet. And I think that they're going to continue to make those changes. And that's free. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I have to admit though, Lori, that when I went into Zoom, all of the different settings and options are very, very attractive.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's free right now. Of course. Be careful. Be careful. No, I know.
Yes,
I mean, I totally understand paying for something if that's something that is really useful and you're going to use a lot. Because I just shelled out money for video editing last night. But I really think that it's something to consider. Try to use Google. And yeah, I'm going to be that person. Sorry. Darcy, will one tab solve the video shut off issue? I think it did for me.
I answered that question.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's essentially just shutting down the browser tab or putting it in a holding mode. So it essentially does the same thing as just closing the browser.
Jane, you're asking how do you use the Google Classroom Class Drive folder? So the Class Drive folder for Google Classroom is where everything goes, where the kids turn their things in. I have also used it to create templates that then I assign to everyone. So everyone gets their own copy of that assignment. I hope that makes sense.
Lori?
Yes.
I don't even know how to get into my Google Drive. I see the icon for it, and then I click it, and I'm like, how do I even get into a folder? And what I would love to do is store teaching resources there. Is that possible?
Okay. Oh, absolutely. Last week I talked about how Drive can basically take any sort of file. Whether or not you can open it from there is a different story, but it will actually store everything for you. But basically, I just want to make sure you're going to the right place when you say, you're going to Drive. So what you can do is you can actually, to get to Drive, there are a couple different ways to get there. The first one is that, from anything Google, you can click on the waffle in the upper right-hand corner and then click on Drive. But you can also type into the Omni box. This is the Omni box at the very top. You can type drive.google.com.
Lori?
Either way, you can get in. Yes.
I'm clear about how to use Google Drive. I'm just unclear about the Classroom Drive specifically.
Okay. So you're going to use it like any other folder, because it's really just a folder. Let me see if I don't go to mine very often because I don't have people turn things into me. So here it is. Classroom. So basically the way that it works out is that there's a different folder for every single Google Classroom you have. You can see I've got a lot. And then within that, so let me see. Let me open this one because I know some kids have turned things in here. And then within every folder, there's a different folder for every assignment, for every group. Did that help at all? Are you able to get into that? Because you just treat it like a folder, like another folder.
Sorry, I think that helps. I'll go mess with it.
Okay, I want you to just go ahead and use it like any other folder. That's all. Basically, so the new options for those who are starting a Google Hangout Meet, so for teachers who are starting a Google Hangout Meet, you can mute other people, and you can, I believe you can stop the whole meeting too. I'm trying to remember what the information that came through from Google said. So you should be able to do that if you're the person who initiated it, and students should not be able to initiate one at all.
Okay, to keep the students from going back into the Meet after the meeting, you just need to make sure that you shut it down if you're the host.
I'm going to check something really quickly about what they wrote, because there was something about as long as you kind of stay in and wait for them all to leave, then once you leave, they're all out. If you leave and there are still kids in there, I think that they can still be in there.
And then Lucy said students can initiate. I had a student initiate a meeting.
If a kid has a Gmail account, just a private Gmail account, that yes, they can initiate one. Absolutely. Okay. But that's on their personal account. They shouldn't be able to do it from their WCC USD account.
Okay. Laura has a question. It's feeling overwhelming and we'll all duplicate each other's work. Can we just start sending parents to WCC USD K or FIRST or something for primary, spending hours online without my students getting much benefit?
I think a lot of people are feeling that way right now, Laurel. That makes a lot of sense. We're working as quickly as we can to create things like templates, but we also realize that every teacher's in a different place. But what I also want you to remember is that you should not be expecting all your kindergartners, and I don't think their parents should be expecting this either, all your kindergartners to be online in online school for the same amount of time they're in school when they're actually there. So I forget how long a kindergarten day is, but I'm just gonna say 6 hours. I know it's not 6 hours for kindergarten. We're not expecting kids to be learning for six hours every day. That is very unrealistic. So
hello everyone, this is Sarah. This is Sarah Breed. I'll chime in on that as well. We are working right now in our district office with UTR on an MOU that will provide some more specific guidelines around time and around requirements. In all of last week, we could not require any kind of distance learning, but that's what we're going to be working on an MOU for. So just for now, take it one day at a time and do what you can. But currently, all of the resources here really are supplemental resources that provide you with tools, and we'll be sending more guidance in terms of kind of hourly requirements this week.
So Laurel, when you say that the parents are still expecting more pages from you, are you saying they're expecting actual physical pages, like pieces of paper from you, or they're expecting more links from you?
Yeah, and I'll just also respond, Laurel, to that, just instead of one-stop shop, just websites where kids might be playing games or there's no actual leveling, or just sending worksheets or packets to them or giving them printables to download. There are websites that level kids with an initial assessment test, and then kids work at their own pace. And the level of work will go up all the way, in the case of Zern for math, if they are so inclined, they could keep working all the way up until 5th grade math if they wanted to. With Lalilo for phonics, I believe the word work goes up to 2nd or 3rd grade. The same thing for Freckle if they're using that for word studies. So if you need some suggestions for what learning platforms would sustain this type of long-term work that might need to last for the rest of the school year, I'm happy to do that. So just send me an email. Yay, Kate, you like my bumblebee?
it's got.
I need to lower it a little bit. I actually walked into a swarm of well, no, I didn't walk into it. I saw it from a distance, some swarming bees near Wildcat Canyon. Lucy, we might
don't know that yet.
Yeah,
we don't know that yet.
Gotta stop these things from
Lucy was asking if we're going to be out longer than April 13th. We don't know that yet. Okay, so Laurel, we do have several links up for kindergarten already, right, Darcy?
We do, and also in the teacher slide book that was presented at your staff meeting, I isolated the few programs for each subject area that I highly recommend. So, for example, Lalilo for phonics and Zern for math. And if you're using Epic Books, kids should have a plethora of stories to choose from. And in Epic Books, you can also create quizzes. So if you want some accountability every single day, you could assign them a quiz. You can either use a quiz that someone else has made, or you could create their own. your own, and they're very easy to set up. If there's a need for that, I'm happy to show how to do that.
I went ahead and put in the direct link to the slide book.
To the slide book.
I just went but just so you know, it's at bit.ly bit.ly/WCC eLearning. Click on teachers and then click on elementary and you'll see it there too. But I sent you the direct link.
And LaLilo right now, they've opened up their professional, the full suite of word study tools, the complete phonics program until the end of the school year.
Oh, Angela Anthony is here, and I just want to shout out and say that's totally awesome that she is continuing her March Madness with books in her library at Hercules Middle, and they are voting on Google Classroom. So Angela, you rock. I saw that on Instagram today. I'm impressed. Yeah, Lucy, I agree. She's amazing. Angela's amazing.
Yay, Dwayne, thanks for bringing up Art for Kids Hub.
Oh, and I put on the student page on our WCC eLearning student page, I did put up the link to the YouTube. It's a YouTube channel of all of Mo Willems' lunch doodles, which is great. Do you want to go over one tab?
I can go over one tab, or for Laurel, I could show what's in LaLilo. If we have some other K through 2 teachers that want to see what that is. But so let's see. Lucy says one tab, please. Okay, so let me show my screen. Oh, Kristen Northrup is here. Welcome. Yep. She's from the county office.
Yep, we're going to have out of town people. I had a ed tech coach from Portland contact me today about our Hangouts.
Okay, so one tab is the way that I typically keep my browser clean, and I'm saying typically because right now you can see how many tabs I have open. So one tab is an extension, and it's up here in the right-hand corner of my screen. It looks like a little funnel. I'm just laughing because it's such a poor example of using it properly right now. So when I'm on a website, let's say here, I'm going to go to Seesaw, and I want to save it for later. The little star here in the address window says it's already bookmarked. My problem is that I've got a gazillion bookmarks, and I know I'm going to want to use Seesaw later on today. So this is the perfect example of when I would use one tab. So after you install one tab, and I can show you how to do that in a second, you would right click on your screen, you'd go down to where it says one tab, and I would say that I want to send only this tab to one tab. Now, I can also send all of these tabs or groups of tabs to one tab. So for example, I'm going to click, actually, I don't want to lose the Google Meet. So that one I'm going to pin and move this over. So I'm going to click on this link, and I'm going to say, oh, it does not work for multiple Google Docs. That's the only thing it does not work for. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to say send this tab, all of the tabs on the right to one tab. And it didn't do it for everything. It did it for as many tabs as I think it could. Let's see, let's try it again. Send all tabs on the right to one tab. Okay, it closes as much as it can. And basically it collects everything into one site. So these are the tabs that it just closed that I sent. These are basically in hibernation mode. So it's more of an active mode than just say saving a tab to your book or saving something as a bookmark. You're just saving that link. It's not in a quickly accessible form. So as soon as I click on one of these links, it's ready for me to use right now. And there are some things I can do with this. So say, for example, I've been doing research on animal reports. I can group all of the links into a category. and I could name that group. So let's just say, for example, I'm going to put morning work. Oops, where'd it go? I must have gone down to the bottom of the page. Either that or I just accidentally deleted it. But in any case, you can see from here, I have grouped tabs together. The lock means that even if I click and open them again, they're going to stay in one tab. And the neat thing about this is I can share it as a web page. So if I wanted my students to see a particular group of websites to visit at one time, I could send them this particular website and they would see that entire collection of links. So I think it's a really neat and very flexible tool to use. If I wanted to restore the tabs, so I wanted to open everything in that group again, I would just click Restore All, and it would bring back all of those tabs. So how you get one tab, because I have not been able to check in with chat, just open up a new Google window and type in one tab. And it's the first link, one tab for Google Chrome. And then you would install it. And what you would see is that little funnel in the upper right-hand corner. And then again, to activate it on any page, you would right-click, go down to one tab, and click Send this tab to one tab. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop presenting and take a look at the chat. I had a Zoom that you put into.
Checking.
Bertha, could you clarify? I had a Zoom that I put into a group.
Yeah, so when you were just presenting right now, I noticed in that group that you had a Zoom meeting. I don't know if it was an active Zoom meeting or if it was just a Zoom page, but it just kind of occurred to me since we were having that discussion earlier in the hour about meetings staying open and students lurking and how to make sure things are cleanly closed up, maybe for the purpose of pinning it, something we'd want to avoid.
Yeah, I was keeping it open. I had nothing open. So if nothing is scheduled, then it should be completely closed. Even if teachers just keep it open because they might use it later, but that's a good question. I haven't tested that out.
Okay.
Jane wants to know, what is pinning and how do you do it? Here, I'll go ahead and show that. Okay, so pinning a tab just saves it in your browser so that you can, for example, close Google Chrome and shut down your computer and then come back later and find your tabs there. And I think I also, after I show how to pin, I'm also going to just show again the settings that you can change in Chrome to just keep any of the tabs you're actively working on there if you close down Chrome and shut down your computer. So here's a new, let me go to Lalilo. And let me see, I've not pinned it, I think. Let me click on it. Okay, there we go. So when you hover over the very top tab, you'll see the option that says pin. And what pin does is it just saves it in my Chrome browser. So if I were to shut down Chrome right now and then reopen it, Lalila would return on my home screen. So I'll go ahead and unpin it. I just have so many tabs pinned right now. It's really hard to tell what's happening, but what happens, like you'll notice it, if you have a very large tab, the size of it will shrink down. And you can also move where the pinned tabs are. So you can kind of put them in order of when you might use them or by importance. So I'm going to go ahead and unpin that. If you have a large number of tabs open and you consistently are going to be using them and you're afraid of losing them, I would recommend going into the Google Chrome settings here on the side, scrolling all the way down to the bottom where it says on startup, select continue where you left off. So that means whatever tabs you have open at the time you close Chrome, all of those tabs will be restored when you reboot up your computer again. Let me go back. And I'll stop sharing my screen. Laurel's asking, what do teachers have to do to get students started? All you have to do is sign up for a free account. And then you set up a classroom. You're going to get a school code. So all of the students that go to your school will share the same school code, but then every teacher who has set up an account is going to have their own classroom. And they don't need your classroom code. They just need the school code. Then they'll see your name on the screen when they type it in. They'll click your name, and then you will just have entered all the students' names, rostered it. From there, students are going to take an assessment test. It levels how many sight words they know, high frequency words, the letter sounds, any of the major phonemic skills they'll be assessed on, and then Lalilo automatically puts them on their own learning track. And here, just to show you what is in Lalilo, because I think seeing it will make you a believer. Here, let me share my screen again so you can see it. So I think for a free phonics platform, because Lexia is the only one I've seen that is better than this, and it costs thousands of dollars. Lalilo is outstanding. So these are the types of skills in phonemic awareness that kids would practice. And then you can see it goes through letter recognition. It'll go through word work, sight words, and word families. It gives them practice with reading. So either it'll give them sentences or it'll give them paragraphs. And then there are actual stories. So there's independent reading and the listening comprehension. So this is going to support all aspects of phonemic development for them. And then if you partner that with using Epic Books, I think you're going to have a complete, robust ELA practice for your students every single day. Lalilo is not on Clever. So let me put in the link to Lalilo. I think it's just app.lalilo.com. And you have to add it to Clever. Yes.
It's Kate. I turned on my microphone for the first time. I'm being brave, and I'm not turning on the video. Sorry, everyone.
No worries.
I'm just kidding. Do kids in K1 need a Google account to get onto Lalilo?
No.
So you send them a code. They sign up for a free account with their parents helping them sign up for a free account. Is that how it goes? And then they put in the code. The parent helps them put in the code, and then they have access?
Actually try this. No, I don't recommend that. I recommend that the teacher creates the account first. The head of Lalilo, he's been trying to get our district to purchase this forever, even though I told him we have no money. He sent the recommendation to one of our teachers this weekend that parents sign up for an account. I'm going to say no on that, to be perfectly honest, because of how much this guy has bugged me about us purchasing his product. I think that's how parents are going to get sucked into it. They sign up for a free account, and then when it's all over, then automatically maybe they're going to get a ton of emails about getting charged. This guy has been incessant with hounding me about registering or getting us to pay for this. So I would say, no, cut that out. I don't want parents bugged like that. Teachers should sign up for a free account. They're going to get their school code, and then they should communicate that to parents. That's it. The student can sign up through Clever by adding the link. And I'm happy to show how to do that if there's anyone here in the chat that wants me to.
That's the part I'm unclear about, so
yes,
that would be great.
So I can go into Clever. I'm gonna let's see. I know Mina, you're on this chat. You know what? I'll use another teacher's that I know she will be okay with me fooling around with. Let me share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to share how to add a link. Okay, this is a teacher that loves me, so I know she's not going to get mad that I'm using her portal. Heidi, I love you. Okay, so this is her teacher page, and you can see she already has Lalilo on there. So I'm going to go ahead and just try to add it again for the sake of doing it. So I'm going to press add in the bottom right-hand corner, and I'm going to select link. So now I'm going to go over to Lalilo, and you know, let me use her actual link. Okay, so this is the link that you would get for your students. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. And I'm going to go back here. So I'm adding a link. I'm going to paste that link. And then I'm going to put Lalilo. And just as you see that Heidi already did here, that's the school code for her site. And by putting it here, just in case parents, you know, lose your communication about what the class code is or the school code, it's visible right there. So I would just put a dash, the school code, and you can even put school code equals TKCTUV. And then the category, you can make your own category. I think the default is year start resources. And you can use one of these icons, or you can upload a picture. I'm not going to do that now. I will look in the chat and see if somebody wants me to show them how to do that. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and add that, and see it just added that link right there. And then I'll go ahead and just delete that link for now. And let me take a look in the chat and see if someone wants me to demo how to download and upload a picture. Laurel, yes, you do have to be on Clever first. Oh, thanks, Alexandra. Do you want me to do it again? I can also show how to upload the photos. Let's see. Cheryl is saying, I installed OneTab, but when I right click on the tabs, I don't see the option to send to OneTab. You are correct. It does not work for Google file formats. It's only for websites. So let's see. Yeah. So don't right click on the tab. You want to right click down on the page content. So let me go to a page. So let's go to, okay, by the way, everybody, Core Power Yoga is having free yoga classes. So they've got all of these free classes for you to join. So I will send this to OneTab. I'm going to right click on it, select OneTab, send only this tab to OneTab. And there you go. Yes, and also Orange Theory. You can see I have my lineup of fitness classes over there. Okay, so I'm going to go back into Clever because Alexandra would like me to add add the link again. So let me go ahead and put in Alexandra's name. Campbell, let's see. There we go. And Alexandra, your code is going to be the same as Heidi's because you're at the same site. Okay. So again, let me go grab this link. And let's see, I'm going to click add and I'm going to click link. I'm going to paste the link and I'm going to type Lalilo and I'm going to put school code equals TKCTUV. And I'll just keep it under newly added. So I already see that you're using the book icon for Epic. So if I wanted to create my own little picture for it, what I would do is go into Google and I'm just going to type Lalilo. I'm going to select images. And let me go ahead. I'm going to copy this one. So I'm just going to right click over that picture and I'm going to put save image as. I'll just name it Lalilo. And I'm making sure that it's going to save it to my downloads folder. So I'm going to save that. So now I'm going to go back to Clever and I'm going to press upload. And downloads. Okay. So there it is. Okay, Lalilo. I'm going to open it. And there the picture appeared. Now I'm going to add the link and it has a little Lalilo picture with it. And I'll go ahead and end that. There we go. All right. Let's see, I kind of got behind on the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and switch over. Laura, you're welcome for mentioning Orange Theory. So yes, you do need to roster your class in Lalilo, and it's just first name. You're welcome, Alexandra. Okay, are there any questions that we haven't addressed? I think I caught everything about one tab and about Lalilo and Clever.
I answered Pat's question, I hope, about Google Classroom. The bottom line is kids can join in several different classrooms. And what they do is they have a landing page just like you do when you go to classroom.google.com and you see all the different pages that you see all the different classrooms on one page and you just click on the one that you want to enter. Kids have the same thing. And Dwayne, that sounds great.
Yeah, I can't believe it's that time already. So
is it? Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's getting there.
By the way, I just want to say a big shout out to all you WCCUSD people who are coming in here and doing the tough brain burning work. My sister's very connected with San Ramon Unified and they are struggling. They are struggling very much. And they think they're a large district. You know, just keep it up. It's really heartwarming.
Thank you for sharing that, Bertha.
Karen had a question. Please demo Google Hangout Meet. How do you start a session and what people do to join?
And what people do to join Google Hangout Meet, how you initiate a session and how people join. I'm very new to video conferencing.
Okay, I can cover that one.
Okay.
I'm thinking, let's see if I can do it though, because I can schedule, that's probably the best thing to schedule one right now.
Okay.
But I think that, and I don't know because they did set me up differently. Let me just check something. I think if you go to meet.google.com, you should get this. And then you have this join or start a meeting thing.
Okay.
Can you check real quick, Karen, or the rest of you? Just go to meet.google.com.
Okay.
And we'll see if you get the pictures. The picture might be different than the one that I'm showing you because they tend to change the artwork.
Yeah, I got it. I got a picture.
You did. And do you have a button that says join or start a meeting?
Yes. I have a button that says join now.
But it looks like
you don't have
connecting to the meeting that we're currently on. So
Yeah.
it may be that we can't practice this while we're on this one.
Yeah, but that's weird because I'm in both too. So that doesn't make any sense. So the other thing maybe that you can do instead is, hold on, let me just check something real quick.
Mina just added a guide onto the chat.
If you go to hangouts.google.com, let me see.
Are Google Meets and Hangouts different?
Yes.
Yes.
So let me explain it real quick. Meet is sort of the video conferencing side of Hangouts. Hangouts is really, and you can see mine here on the left, is more like texting, right? It's instant messaging sort of stuff. But
You're not presenting.
Pardon me?
You're not presenting.
I'm not presenting?
No.
Oh. Okay, hold on. I thought I was. No. Okay. Yeah, Dwayne, I know, and that's usually how we do it, but I was trying to figure out another way around it. I guess I'll just show you guys a basic way of scheduling one. And because Karen, you have high school students, they have email, so this should be easy. It's actually scheduling it through calendar is the way to go. That's the way that I schedule all of them. So if you open your Google Calendar,
yeah.
And then, so for instance, if I'm going to plan something at noon today, I would click on noon, right? And this box comes up. And I just want to make sure that under add rooms, location, or conferencing, I click on add conferencing.
Okay.
And then it comes up with the link. So you can do a couple of things here. You can either add guests where you add students, or you just copy this link and send it to them. Here's the link.
Okay, and it gives a phone number, but they just, to join, they just click on the link?
Exactly. So I would just give them the link. That's easier. Okay. So that's probably the easiest way to do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very basic, boneheaded question, and thank you for answering.
It's a really good question. Actually, it is not obvious, obviously, because you can't just go to meet.google.com and go ahead and start one. Darcy, you're
sorry. I had to stop these. It's driving me crazy.
Hilarious. Let me see if there are other questions here. Okay, let's see. Quick summary of topics covered. Yeah, so Chris, that's what I'm working on. That means I have to actually re-watch all the videos again and put in timestamps, but that's what I'm planning on doing today, amongst other things. So I just want to show people, and this is actually kind of cool. I learned this. I actually had to look it up. Let me go ahead and go to my screen. I will show my screen again. I'm also trying to be a little quieter because I noticed when I was editing the videos that I'm really loud. So trying to be a little quieter. Okay, so when you go to the eLearning site and you click like on the first video, I'm gonna go ahead and just, if you actually go to it in YouTube, so you click on YouTube and it opens it up in YouTube, I'm pausing it. Okay. Down here, this is where I've started. This is how much I've gotten in the description. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the times here are actual links. So if I click here where it says sharing mystery science with students when e-teaching, if I click here, then it just goes automatically to that point, which is really cool. And it's super easy to do. It's just a matter of me going through and watching all of them and linking all that. But that's what I'll be working on. So yes, I'm planning on making it a little clearer. For now, people are just going to have to watch the videos. Sorry. All right, it's 10:58. Holy cow.
Actually, well, my computer says 11, but.
Oh, no,
but my watch says
10:58 also.
Huh.
And if you guys, oh, go ahead, Dwayne.
Such a highlight of my day.
Social distancing.
Social distancing, I love it. But just to let everyone know, if you enjoy music and enjoy dancing, even if you're in your kitchen or in your living room, on Instagram, there is DJ D Nice. He's become so popular that my 80-year-old mother called me and asked me about him this morning, and I will be setting her up with Instagram later today. So definitely go check out DJ D Nice at 3 p.m. today. He's going to be hosting, he'll be spinning some records and hosting a dance party. Social distance dance party. All right, I guess that's it for today.
All right, everybody. See you tomorrow morning. Bye.
Bye.